welcome to Unlimited Health. What's up? What's up? Yesterday I didn't come up because I was reacting to a lot of videos, and I had to upload them on my on my backup channel and main channel. So today we're gonna take a look at some scary shit. Okay, scary ass shit. All right, so we're gonna take a look at some scary stuff. I don't know what else to do. I'm just easily bored and shit, so I don't know what to do. I can't think of anything cool to do, and it's like, man, it sucks. Life sucks, and I suck. So, scary shit.
Pick over the few details preserved about those.
Let's poop our pants. Let's go.
Those gone.
Let's just watch it. It's very fucking creepy and mysterious. Okay, very creepy and mysterious.
After a year like 2020, the idea of taking a nice hike and getting away from it all has definitely been an enticing prospect. But after looking into today's topic, I sort of have mixed feelings. And as I'm sure many of you know, countless hikers go missing in a wide variety of bizarre and mysterious circumstances. Not to deter you from taking that hike, as we all know Mother Nature can be unforgiving. But that being said, today's topic should put into perspective just how little we know about the disturbing events that truly unfold when people find themselves away from civilization. The world is both so small that crazy coincidences can occur, but also too large that we often don't find what we're looking for. And that being said, this is the true story of the S.O.S. incident.
Yeah. Creepy incident. Look at that. Let's get out this fucking intro. Annoying intro. What the
On July 24th, 1989, two men had gone missing from Daisetsuan National Park in Japan. And shortly after, the search had begun, spanning the area surrounding Mount Asaidake, and a helicopter had begun searching throughout the day. As the day had come to a close, out of the corner of their eye, the rescue crew had noticed something down below. If it wasn't apparent from the footage already, there was an SOS signal that was visible from the sky.
Look at that!
Measuring in at 18 meters in length and 5 meters tall, made out of various precisely cut birch trees. This sign was found about 4 kilometers south of the summit of Mount Asaidake, where there was no trail and people rarely ever veered towards that location. Seeing this as a clear call for help, the local police landed and patrolled the area in order to investigate, and as it would turn out, just a kilometer or so north, the hikers ended up walking out of the woods and were rescued. Shortly after, almost everything was back to normal, and when the hikers were debriefed on the situation...
Okay, so the hikers have been found, SOS signal, and good. Everything is good. Okay, let's watch.
They had been told, had it not been for that SOS sign, rescuing them...
We saw the SOS sign, so we were able to rescue. Thank you for making that SOS sign. That's what the police said, okay?
...would have been a hell of a lot more difficult. When the hikers were told this, they were puzzled because they had never created any SOS sign. In fact, they had no idea what the police were even talking about.
What?
Making their initial rescue an insane coincidence that would lead investigators down an entirely separate mystery.
My God!
Because if they never made that...
They never made the SOS sign. So then who the fuck made it? What?
Sign. Who did?
Alright, this dude is with the background music is really annoying. That dude has a background music with the whoa shit. And it was just so annoying. Okay. This should fucking creep you out.
In the afternoon of July 24th, 1989, a Ginrei helicopter was discovered. Bewildered by the sighting, the helicopter pilots noted the location and continued their search before fortunately finding and rescuing the two missing hikers approximately 3 kilometers away.
Yeah, look.
This, however, was only the beginning of the mystery. After the missing hikers were picked up, the Japanese police interviewed them and made a startling discovery. After asking about the SOS sign, the two of them replied with, We don't know anything about that.
You see? What the fuck?
The horrible realization set in.
That's crazy.
Someone else was missing on the mountain.
Pretty
and in
much.
trouble.
What the hell?
The next day, the morning of July 25th, 1989, the police helicopter once again went into the skies above Taisetsuzan.
Huh.
But this time, it landed officers to conduct a search of the area around the SOS sign. What they found was what they feared most. Human remains.
Oh shit.
Scattered around the site were fragments of human bones that showed
Man.
signs of animal bites.
Really?
No flesh was found, showing that the
Jeez.
bones had been there for a long time.
Fuck.
But surprisingly, this wasn't the strangest thing they discovered. Around 100 meters away from the site was a discarded knapsack.
Oh
Inside
shit.
it, among many ordinary personal items, was a tape recorder with 4 tapes.
4 tapes.
On one of the tapes was the chilling voice of a young man screaming for help. The very voice you heard at the beginning of this video. But this tape left more questions than answers. Let's listen again.
What the fuck? Who the fuck? Is that the skeleton dude or is it somebody else? Jeez.
First of all, why did the man speak this way?
Very creepy.
He is screaming each syllable at the top of his lungs. But why? The police have theorized that he was trying to call out to a helicopter which occasionally flew overhead,
Holy
and the tape
shit.
recorder turned on by itself. This theory is backed up by the line in the recording where he asked to be pulled up by helicopter from his current location.
Wow.
They believe that he would have moved around, swinging his arms in the air to get the pilot's attention, which could have inadvertently turned the recorder on. Saying each
Damn.
syllable like he did also would have made his voice easier for people to hear over the sounds of the helicopter blades. Another theory brought forward by the police was that
That's so weird. I don't know, man. This is creepy as fuck, this shit.
he recorded his voice in this way purposely, because screaming over and over would soon wear out his voice. The strange way of speaking would leave an impression on any who heard it, so they would come to investigate. Unfortunately, these are only theories, and the reason why the man did this will never be known. By now you're probably wondering who this man was. The items found around the SOS sign give us an idea of his personality, as
Damn.
well as his identification. I previously mentioned that 4 tapes were found, including the recording of a man screaming for help.
Jeez.
On the other tapes were recordings of anime theme songs, including those from popular 1980s shows such as Super Dimension Fortress Macross and Magic Princess Minky Momo. Coupled with the anime illustrations on the tape cases, this allowed police to suspect that the person was a big anime fan.
Anime fan in the 1980s and what the fuck?
Or otaku.
Oh.
Further fueling this victim profile was that, in an episode of the
Fucking
world-famous
weird.
manga and anime Astro Boy, an SOS sign is made using branches from a tree.
Jeez.
The exact same method used in this very real case. As for his identity, personal identification found at the site, as well as analysis from bone fragments, identified the man as a 25-year-old.
Maybe he saw the anime, like read the book and decided to go out there and try to get rescued or something. Like it's almost like a fetish. But you know, I don't know what happened. Nobody came, and maybe he actually got lost, and then, you know, and then he died. I don't know, man. This case is fucking creepy.
Company worker from Kornanshi City in Aichi Prefecture. In July 1984, 5 years before the discovery of the sign, he traveled to the area to do some hiking. After checking into a hotel near the mountain, he left his luggage and said to the employee, "I'm going for a hike." After he failed to return that evening, Employees made a report to the
shit.
local police and a search was conducted.
Oh
But
man.
he was never found or seen again. The
That's fucked
helicopter was
up.
deployed during the search, but because of the high cost of using it, it was only in the air for a very short amount of time. It is theorized that the man saw the helicopter in the sky and made the SOS sign in the hope that it would be spotted.
Huh.
There are two things about this sign that have stood out to police since the beginning.
Damn.
First of all, the sign itself. From the voice recording, we know that the man was in trouble and unable to move from his location. So how was he able to make the sign?
Huh.
Each letter was 5 meters tall and 2 to 3 centimeters across, and the birch logs used in its construction were very heavy.
Whoa.
According to police investigating the case, it would take a lot of physical strength to move such logs. In fact, the person would need to be stronger than the average man to be able to build the sign all by themselves. If this man had such strength left, why did he not try to find rescue? There were popular hiking trails nearby where he could have walked to, so why stay behind and waste energy and time building a huge sign? If he was injured, how was he...
I think this whole sign building thing is like a fetish that he wanted to do, and he did it. But then it doesn't make sense why he died. Did he get lost on purpose? I don't know. But if he was building all that shit, lifting all those heavy logs of birch trees and everything, I don't know. Then why would he, like, that's so weird. And apparently there's like a lot of trails around, and he doesn't know anything about them. Does he not have any map or anything? That's so stupid. And this dude is like, I just don't get it. This is weird. It's weird, man.
Be capable of creating a large sign that even a healthy person would struggle to build? Second, the recording itself. There is one line that sticks out to police. I can't get down from the cliff.
Fucking idiot.
The sign
Yelling away. It's so stupid. What was he thinking? Where did he go? And why did he decide to build a big ass SOS sign instead of, I don't know, trace back his steps or something? I don't know. Try to find somebody else or something. Really? Really?
Time and location of the tape recorder were found in some relatively flat wetland, a few kilometers away from any cliffs that would prove to be difficult to descend. So what does this mean? Was the tape recorded in a different place? Did he manage to climb down from a cliff and descend the mountain until he was unable to carry on?
Wow.
Was he confused and gave inaccurate information? Or was this whole thing an elaborate plan to cover up foul play and throw police off with a red herring?
Yeah, I kind of feel like that is a possibility too. I don't know, man. Those bones might not be his bones either. So I don't know what's going on.
We
This
will
is
never know the
ridiculous.
answers to these questions.
Something about jumping off a cliff, but there's no cliffs there, and it's just so weird.
The only theory that makes a little bit of sense is the two boulders theory. Along the hiking trail up the mountain is an almost perfectly square boulder nicknamed the Safe due to its unusual shape. It is used as a landmark to lead people down the mountain towards town. Nearby, however, is another square boulder nicknamed the Fake Safe. This boulder is near a trail that leads back around the mountain to a steep, treacherous area.
That's fucked
It is
up.
very easy to mistake the fake safe for the real one, especially when the
Oh,
mountain
shit.
gets foggy or it has been raining.
Does he have like a map or anything? If he has a map, then this makes sense that he got lost because of the fake safe, because he would be looking at the map and getting confused and stumble upon the fake safe, So it makes no sense. If he doesn't have a map, then it's almost like this whole thing was planned, But doesn't make sense how he died or where the fuck is he and who those bones belong to. It's just weird, dude. Weird. This thing creeps me out,
Could the steep, cliff-like area it leads to have been the cliff he was referring to in his recording? Again, we will never know.
Crazy.
I can't help but feel sad for this man.
Yeah.
I wonder what he felt all alone in a strange place. what was going through his mind during his final moments. While many questions will forever remain unanswered,
Damn.
I'm at least glad that his eventual fate is known and his family can get closure. One of the biggest...
Can we know how he looks like? Who is his family? Can we see his face, like his photo or something? I don't know. And can we try to understand his mental state or something? You know, try to understand. That would explain a lot of things, you know?
Lessons we can learn from this story is to never underestimate nature.
Yeah.
If you plan to go hiking in...
That's what I'm saying. These hiking motherfuckers just go in ridiculous distances and then they get lost, and then it's our fault and we're gonna have to fucking search, and it's like, what the
an area you're not familiar with.
The burden is ours now and we're gonna have to search it.
Plan thoroughly and go with a friend, because that lovely scenic hike you take could easily become your last. Thank you for watching my first YouTube video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up.
Crazy.
Leave a comment to let me know what you thought. Also, if you're interested in learning more about strange stories and unsolved mysteries from Japan, please subscribe. Until next.
Alright, fucking crazy video, man. Let me take a look at the stream. Are you guys enjoying the stream or what? Am I boring you guys? I don't know. But man, this is another case. Dude, if you don't know anything about this will fucking, you know, creep you so bad, okay? Let's just watch this, okay? It's only 7 minutes long. Let's just watch this. This thing will fucking creep you. Like, seriously. Let me clear the chat. Can I clear the fucking chat? Can I clear this shit? This is so bad. The chat is covering the whole thing. Maybe I gotta remove this chat shit. Okay. Let's watch. Alright, let's watch this. This thing will scare you. Not scare you, but more like creep you out. Let's do it.
On the 17th of February 2004, a 68-year-old man went to withdraw money from an ATM at a Jusco shopping center in Yokkaichi City, Mie Prefecture. This simple, routine action, however, would ultimately end with his tragic death. This is the true, unsolved mystery of the Jusco ATM phantom. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Japanese store brands, Jusco, before being renamed to Aeon, were large shopping centers. They usually contained grocery stores, clothing stores, 100-yen shops, and restaurants. Unlike most of these types of establishments, there were ATM corners available for shoppers so that they could withdraw cash. One day, an elderly gentleman, both hands occupied with shopping bags, went to withdraw money from an ATM at the Yokkaichi City Jusco. But he wasn't alone. Loitering around the ATM corner was a young woman, cradling a baby in a chest harness. She'd been lingering in the area for roughly 5 minutes before the man showed up, and had been keeping an eye on the place. As the man began to leave the ATM area after withdrawing his money, the woman approached him. She acted as though she intended to walk past, before purposely bumping into his shoulder. As the man stood, shocked and confused, the woman ran her hands over his body until she found his wallet, filled with the recently withdrawn money and cards. The man and woman wrestled over it. When she was unsuccessful in taking it from him, she grabbed the man's arm and collar and screamed, "Thief!" drawing the attention of the people around her.
What the fuck?
3 nearby shoppers and store clerks, seeing a man tussling over a wallet with a young woman holding a baby, decided that the man must be the criminal and apprehended him, allowing the woman to break free. The man fought so hard against the woman and his attackers that 3 of his plastic cash cards were crushed in his hand. They tackled him to the floor and called the police. By chance, 2 young, inexperienced police officers who were arresting a shoplifter nearby were already at the scene to provide assistance. They handcuffed the man and forced him to lie down on the ground, despite his protests and pleas of innocence. That was when they noticed. the woman had disappeared.
Holy shit. What the
The man was
fuck?
pressed to the floor with a policeman on top of him for 20 minutes, despite his advanced age.
That's
When he
creepy,
tried
man.
to rise up from the ground, the police forced him back down. Eyewitnesses at the scene said that one policeman was so aggressive he broke a lens of the victim's glasses and caused him to groan in a very unusual way.
Oh man.
He soon began vomiting and lost consciousness,
Sure.
but the 25-year-old policeman who arrested him refused to uncuff him or even take notice of his dire circumstances.
What the fuck?
When more police came onto the scene and saw the handling of the situation, they finally uncuffed him and called an ambulance.
Whoa.
By that time it was too late. The dangerously high blood pressure caused by the stress of the situation and subsequent police brutality caused arrhythmia and heart failure.
Oh man.
His brain shut down and he died the next day.
Wow.
The
Shit.
day after his death, without testimony from the mysterious woman or any true evidence, the police unashamedly filed charges against the deceased victim.
Whoa.
Fortunately,
What?
some within the police force became suspicious about the woman. They investigated the CCTV footage at the ATM corner and determined
Wow.
that the man was completely innocent. In 2005, 1 year after the
Oh
incident,
my god.
they released 2 images of the woman taken from the CCTV footage to the public. Not since
Look
the
at
infamous
that.
Glico case has this been done in Japan. The images were of low quality, and due to the almost inhumane facial features, the public began calling the woman a monster or phantom.
Whoa. Look at
Of
that.
course, releasing the images one
What
year
the
after
fuck,
the incident
man?
happened meant that the
Look at that face.
likelihood of finding the woman or any evidence
What is that thing? What?
was significantly reduced. At the time of the crime, the woman was estimated to be aged between 25 and 30 years old, and the baby she was carrying on her chest was between 2 and 3 years old. She was
What?
thought to be Japanese, 155 to 160 centimeters tall, to have shoulder-length brown hair, and have a face that was described as unusual. In fact, many have commented online that her face doesn't even look human. She was wearing dark clothes during the incident, and despite touching the man's cash cards, left no fingerprints at the scene. Other than screaming
Oh,
thief
man.
at the victim, she didn't say anything to anyone.
Yeah, I'm thinking what you're thinking. I think it's a mask and she has gloves too. So it's a weird fucking situation, dude. It's fucking weird as fuck. It doesn't even make any fucking sense, you know? My god. What is up with these thieves? They are so fucking advanced, even for those times. It's like, holy shit, you know? My god, okay. Fucking, my browser crashed. It's a piece of shit.
Case has this been done in Japan? The images were of low quality. The woman was estimated to be aged with shoulder-length brown hair and have a face that was described as unusual. In fact,
Crazy.
many have commented online that her face doesn't even look human. She was wearing dark clothes to anyone. The Jusco shopping center. It was as if she
Yeah.
vanished into thin air. Even after seeing the CCTV footage, it was only in March 2011, 7 years after the incident,
Huh.
that the police finally formally acknowledged that the man was not a criminal. Therefore, since his death, his reputation was stained with a false charge, which is much more serious in Japan than it is in the West. The date is also significant because it was just 1 month after the statute of limitations passed for the theft. In other words, they would not investigate the case any further and would
Wow.
not try to find the woman responsible. The bereaved family took the police to court for
Jeez.
their unprofessionalism. The police
Some of these fucking, I don't want to say misogynistic things. Some of these fucking women, man. Some of these women that take advantage of men. These women are fucked up, man. They will say, help please, my son is in danger. Help me, help please, thief, thief. And then everybody is after the dude who is completely innocent. And it's like, what is wrong with these bitches? I just hate them. These fucked up women, okay?
recognized
Man.
that a mistake was made, but claimed that excessive force was not used. They even went as far as to say that the arrest of the man did not cause his death. The family was originally paid a measly $125 compensation for the death in May 2011. However,
that's insulting. That's rubbing, like, insulting, dude. Really insulting. You might as well not give anything. That's how bad it is.
The Nagoya High Court ordered the police to pay $350,000 for, to put it mildly, errors on the side of the police. Despite the circumstances of the incident, the authorities have never publicly apologized to the family. As for the phantom woman, she was never seen again. The police never actively tried to find her, other than releasing the images and printing some posters to be...
And that is the actual photo of that. The yellow face and green, that's not the real one. It is the real one, but it's been colorized to, you know, to show you how it actually looks like. But this is actually how that woman looks like. And it looks, I don't know, man. The head looks like it's too big for the body. That's how it looks like. Kind of looks like an alien almost. What's up with that? And is the baby moving? Is her son even moving, acting like a baby or not? Or maybe it's a fake prop, you know? I think it's a mask and she has gloves on her and she's wearing like a fucking baby fake prop to fool people when she tries to, like, you know, steal some kind of card. She was right next to ATMs too, so it's true that she's trying to get some money, you know, steal some money. So it makes sense. She's a professional thief from those days, pretty much. I mean, look at that.
Placed in the local area. They never got the images professionally edited or made illustrations.
This is the colorized, the places where we can't see, it's been colorized to show us how she actually looks. And she looks like fucking as if her face is swollen, and you know, like, it's weird, man.
Based on eyewitness accounts, which is very standard practice for Japanese police. Unfortunately, unless she comes forward herself, I doubt she will ever be found.
Wow.
Thank you for watching my second YouTube video.
Crazy.
If you haven't already, check out the other video I made about the mysterious SOS sign found in Hokkaido. Until next time,
damn.
Goodbye.
Wow. Yeah, go check out this guy's you know, channel. He's awesome. He makes amazing shit. Really cool content, and his delivery, the way he narrates, is also creepy. That's how you should do it. You know, all other channels that I'm seeing, they're either super slow or this dude sounded like a hillbilly right, and they're or like maybe female narrators. They're not creepy, and it's just so bad. You know, this dude knows how to do it. You know, and his videos are fucking creepy as fuck, dude. You know, one day I want to watch this video. I want to react to this video on you know, on a stream. Probably the next scary stream I will do that, because this thing is actually really creepy, dude. Really creepy. Really fucks you up. Okay, madness. All right, but can we should we watch another video? Can we watch another video? Let's see. Mysterious phone number from the 90s. It's only 12 minutes long, and I hope it fucking scares the fuck out of me. You know, creepy shit, really creepy stuff. The scary stuff doesn't scare me. The creepy stuff scares me like nothing. Let's watch.
When it comes to looking into topics or mysteries on the internet, I really enjoy topics that are more obscure. It's refreshing to look into things that aren't covered to death, and it allows me to bring attention to something likely close to being solved. The number we're going to be looking in today isn't something I would generally look into or even consider as an internet mystery. It might be arguable that this isn't even an internet mystery whatsoever. This number and all of the strange things surrounding it, in essence, is a real-life incident that has only been kept alive by the internet. What we're going to be exploring is 20 some odd years of first-hand accounts to try and figure out what happened with what may be the most mysterious phone number that existed in the 90s.
Whoa, okay. The number, huh? Alright.
To clarify before we go forward, this number is a telephone number, or a 1-800 number, and I'm going to name it momentarily, but I highly advise against calling this number, as not only is it not home to the same owner as it was in the 90s, but is also home to an erotic hotline. We're going to get into how this number changed ownership here in a bit.
Porno
but for
number.
now, you just need to have a fair warning if you choose to call this number during this video. With that disclaimer out of the way, let's get to the number. It's 1-800-GOLF-TIP. While that might seem incredibly random, just know that things are about to get a hell of a lot weirder. For further background, we're going to dive into the rumors regarding this number, as it appears countless times in Google searches, and as you'll soon learn, people are just as confused as to what happened to this phone number as we are. At first, I thought this was some prank number that was meant to make you call an erotic hotline, but after messing with all the possible combinations, none of them were even remotely funny enough to make a joke out of. I'm going to leave all of the numbers here on screen and their positions, and maybe you can come up with a combination that will make sense to this entire situation. This mysterious phone number has no discernible understanding, and there's even a website dedicated to submitting your memory to try and figure this thing out. This website is entitled 1800golftip.com. The homepage reads the following: hold the phone. Remember the 90s, remember high school, remember calling 1-800-GOLF-TIP? If you don't, you're a fraud. If you do, what the was that? We're here to find out. Please join us as we try to
what is that number? What the fuck's happening?
Solve this mystery from the past. Since I've read through just about every single first-hand account there is about this telephone number, I want to give you a common consensus of what I found. Essentially, what would occur after calling this number is that a pre-recorded line would play, with a man counting to 10 over and over again, with notable pauses being made on certain numbers. Something that varies here with a lot of the first-hand accounts that are on the internet is that some people remember a pause around a 6, 7, or 8. The man speaking on the telephone is widely regarded to have an Indian or Middle Eastern accent. A few people also noted that if you left the phone on long enough, a loud scream or a synthetic siren would play to shock listeners in an audible jump scare.
Wait, what?
A few people also noted that if you left the phone on long enough, a loud scream or a synthetic siren would play to shock listeners in an audible jump scare. By all accounts, the origin of this number is almost shock.
Who's paying for this? One day we put it on and just leave it on. Don't hang up. Something like 12 minutes in the voice cuts out. Blip, blip. Then this super loud sound like a synthetic siren. Wah! Oh my god, to this day I have no idea what the fuck was that. There are a few conversations around about it, but nothing solid. I don't even know. What is that, dude? That's fucking creepy, man. Holy shit.
Listeners in an audible jump scare. By all accounts, the origin of this number is almost certainly Canada, and in a couple of testimonials, people mentioned a bit.
And Canada has a lot of Indian immigrants in there, so I guess it's one of them, and they're probably trying to prank people. I don't know, man.
Billboard to be the original origin. We're going to touch more on the billboard later, but something I want to point out is that if you Google the numbers associated with this, the only one that comes up transcribed is 1-800-GOLF-TIP. This shows us that this rumor came from some form of source material and not from people dialing numbers randomly. If people were dialing numbers randomly, then they would have come up with different variations like 1-800-GOLF-VIP and so on. This leads me to believe that there was clearly something going on with this number back in the 90s that this many people would have the exact same memory. I submitted a question to the contact page of the website I mentioned earlier in hopes of getting a first-hand...
And this is the 90s, so I don't know the situation in Canada there, so I don't know. ...count,
but I haven't heard anything back from the site's owner, but maybe they will in the future. Going forward with this search, I decided to look for references to this telephone number anywhere else on the internet in hopes of gathering new information. Unfortunately, though, I was pretty much empty-handed until I came across one Reddit thread from someone who lived in St. Catharines, Ontario, and had seen the billboard go up at the time. This Reddit thread that I found comes from a user named OhIGetJokes, and about 10 months ago, he was in the exact same situation as us today. While most of the info in this thread is stuff we've already talked about, this Reddit thread does have quite a bit of new information that I want to go over. In his Reddit thread, he outlines his experience with calling the number after seeing the billboard in his town. He states that he used to practice imitating the individual man on the other end of the call after calling the number so much as a kid. The most notable
Whoa.
contribution that allows us to confirm that this number exists in the 90s comes from a user in the thread named Cunning Lindy, who found an archived school newspaper from Carleton University, Ottawa, dating all the way back to 1993. Here on this archive, it lists this phone number as a thing that was talked about by students on a list of things that they, quote, liked. In this thread, Oh I Get Jokes even goes as far as to provide an individual sound file for anyone looking into the topic.
Oh,
Let's
shit.
take a listen to his impersonation.
Holy shit! Okay. Impersonation?
Okay. Here is my imitation of the 1-800-GOLF tip
Okay.
recording.
Okay. Let's hear how it sounds like. Okay. It's an imitation, but it's not. Okay, let's do it.
And keeping in mind it's been a couple decades. But the voice went something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, etc., etc. And where that
Wow.
pause was, I mean, I remember the breath after the 7. Other people remember it somewhere else. But
It's some asshole trying to. You can see it's just a dude trying to do it. I don't know why he's doing it. You know,
I do know that the
he's trying to take a breathe between 6 and 7. You know, so it's definitely some dude. It's not a pre-recorded message or anything. It's some dude playing pranks, and we don't know why he's doing. That's the creepiest shit.
loop was seamless.
That's the creepy part.
Almost positive of that.
In a further update to this thread, Oh I Get Jokes also mentioned what the billboard looked like. Here's what he had to say. This was 20 years ago, but to the best of my recollection, full color with a close-up of a golf ball, a club angled away from the camera, green grass, and some blue in the upper left. 1-800-GOLF tip was in a big yellow 3D lettering. I reached out to Oh I Get Jokes, and he told me the town it was spotted in was St. Catharines, Ontario. This means that by 1993, this individual number had spread by word of mouth over 600 kilometers. In another 4chan thread from 2017, we learned that the billboard was across from an old bijou theater, and after reaching out to Oh I Get Jokes and asking him about the location, he mentioned that the theater had a bijou arcade on the first floor and a theater on the second floor. Since then, this theater has been torn down and replaced with a Tim Hortons. I even managed to get a picture of what this billboard looks like today. Something to note here is that this billboard is rather small, meaning it wouldn't have been too incredibly expensive in this town. By the way, I've linked Oh I Get Jokes down below as well as his thread, as I'm incredibly appreciative of posters who take time to get back to me within 15 minutes and provide additional info almost a year later after making their post. That being said, as much as I trust very friendly Canadians, I still wanted to look a bit further into this and decided that I'd look into the number itself. This dropped me into an entirely separate rabbit hole. By looking into who owns 1-800-GOLF tip today, I managed to find the company by the name of Mayfair Communications. The date listed for this number being updated into the 1-800 database is January 20th, 1998. What's interesting here is that this was updated 5 years after it's referenced in the student magazine. Since we have this discrepancy here, I wanted to look into Mayfair Communications as a company to try and figure out what happened to this number. After Googling Mayfair Communications, I found that quite a few businesses came up. We can cross-reference the number we're given on the 1-800 directory, and it gives us this company called Mayfair Communications in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. In my opinion, this company seems sketchy. Something to note about Mayfair Communications is when you Google them, a large number of scam reports seems to be associated with this company.
Oh,
Mayfair
shit.
Communications Incorporated doesn't even appear to have its own website, which is incredibly suspicious. I'm not even entirely sure if Mayfair Communications is still even in business. After doing a bit of digging, I believe this company was taken over by another company called Primetel Communications. What's interesting is that Primetel was also located in Philadelphia, and they own some of the same numbers. My best guess is that Primetel took over the number and never updated the 1-800 record. What's interesting is when you search Mayfair Communications on Google, Primetel even comes up on the first page despite never directly referencing them. After looking into what Primetel Communications does as a company, it's crystal clear as to what happened to 1-800-GOLF tip. This company is notorious for hoarding millions of phone numbers and buying them as soon as they expire. This company is well known for redirecting any number it buys to an erotic chat line. This leads me to believe that Mayfair Communications scooped up this individual phone number in 1998 and then was taken over by Primetel, if they're not one and the same. The reason
Damn.
that I believe it's important to understand what happened
Man, this investigation is amazing.
to Mayfair is that it allows us to rule out that this was ever a joke phone number meant to call an erotic hotline. By referencing that student newspaper, we learned that 1-800-GOLF-TIP did have a previous owner, as it was referenced there. Now, the big question still remains, though. What is the purpose of 1-800-GOLF-TIP? Why would someone go through all of this trouble just to set up a phone number and perhaps a billboard and get people to call it? I'm going to throw forward three
what the
theories as to
fuck?
what happened,
I know.
one of which I favor immensely. Keep in mind, since there's no original recording and all we have are first-hand accounts, it's hard to say anything definite. The first theory that seems to be passed around a lot around this phone number is that this was some kind of social experiment or hoax. But one thing that doesn't line up here is that if this was a hoax just to mess with people, why sink money into it for no payoff potentially? There definitely could have been cheaper ways to get this phone number jump-started. Since you couldn't leave messages for this individual phone line, it's hard to see why someone would get satisfaction out of trolling this way. The only other way to hear about what you had done and set up a billboard and created a graphic for would be from word of mouth, and while this seems possible, let's look into other theories. The second theory is that the person who paid for this billboard passed away or something happened to them after setting it up. They could have used this counting to 10 recording as a placeholder, but that doesn't seem to explain away the scream that was heard at the end or the siren. The only way to know for sure is to see who paid for the billboard and see if there's an obituary for them, but good luck finding who paid for it. The last theory is the one that I would like to entertain the most, as it requires the least assumptions and provides a motive. I personally believe, after looking into this whole situation, assuming all of the rumors were true, that this was some kind of marketing lead generation tactic. And if you don't know what that means, it was likely a way to collect phone numbers for telemarketing purposes. Caller ID was definitely around at this time, and it could have been a ploy to get people to intentionally call in with a cryptic phone number. That way they could collect active, fresh phone numbers to be sold to later on. This makes sense in my opinion. Active, fresh phone numbers to be sold to later on. This makes sense in my opinion.
A lot of these marketing guys, they need new fresh numbers to call up and sell their product. So we never get these fresh numbers. I actually worked in one of these places, and you never get fresh numbers, and you're always asking for the customer to provide another phone number and shit. So it's all crazy. So this actually makes sense. It could be possible that this was a way to get people to call you so that you could grab their numbers and utilize for the one thing that I would say is that if this is true, we would like to know if they received any marketing sales, any kind of phone based on that after they have called this number. That's the way we can confirm it forever, like completely. So I don't know, maybe you should dig around more with the numbers that they get, but we don't know what numbers they were, so I don't know.
Telemarketing was much more lucrative in the 90s and was gaining traction. Cold calling would have been much more effective, and today we kind of get robocalled every 2 seconds, but people in the 90s were not used to that. At this time, there wasn't even a do not call list until 2004, so it would make sense that this was some kind of tactic. They paid for a relatively small billboard and could have gotten thousands of phone numbers over its existence. People clearly passed this thing around like crazy, so this would have been a gold mine. This theory provides a motive for paying for the billboard and shows how they could have made their money back later on. They could have even directly sold these phone numbers to other companies in the area. But as far as this mystery goes, this is my best guess. Keep in mind, this is somewhat
that actually
logical,
makes sense.
but it's still complete conjecture as it's based on first-hand accounts that we can't even technically prove to this day. In conclusion, I want to point out that what I'm providing is based off of first-hand accounts, and unless someone comes forward or new evidence comes out, it's really hard to say anything for certain. If there's something I've learned from rumors and first-hand accounts is that they're incredibly inaccurate. So, like I said, this is my best guess. What we have left today is an internet urban legend, and while it's fun to entertain theories, I'd love to know what you guys think about this entire thing. As I said, I'll leave that one thread linked down below if you guys want to look into this for yourself. And if we can come up with something new, that would be awesome. But for now, this is Barely Sociable. Have a good night.
Damn. All right, crazy, mysterious shit. It's ridiculous, okay?
Let's begin.
Let's go then.
The world can be a dangerous place, but few are considered more deadly than the city of Ciudad Juarez in Mexico. Its particular combination of cartel activity...
I heard Mexico has like the most amount of crimes and shit like that. Not the most, but more like it's a very significant place for a lot of crimes, criminals running around, obviously drugs and shit. So, I don't know, man.
Corruption, apathy on the part of law enforcement, and outdated attitudes make Juarez a hotbed for violent crime that often goes unpunished. It seems inevitable, then, that some would feel compelled to take the law into their own hands, and that appears to be exactly what happened back in 2013 when a mysterious vigilante took fatal action. On August 28th of 2013 at 7:45 a.m., a lone female boarded a bus and opened fire on its driver, 45-year-old Jose Carrera.
What?
Carrera jumped off the bus in an effort to escape, but collapsed on the sidewalk and died shortly
What
thereafter.
the fuck?
His attacker fled on foot, with witnesses unable to determine in which direction the shooter had run. At this time, this likely felt like business as usual in a city where days without at least one murder were uncommon, and where assassins, even
Do the public not carry any guns? Like, the guns are super popular over, in the Western society. Everybody has a gun. So if you see somebody shooting, why don't you chase them and shoot them or something? Come on, it's a criminal, and there's nothing wrong with going around, running after them and shooting them, right? So where are the people with the guns? I just don't get it. Why are there people without guns on the streets? And nobody fucking chased this piece of shit that killed the bus driver and ran away? Like, come on.
Female ones weren't especially rare either. Initially, law enforcement seemed to believe that the killing was likely the result of an extortion attempt gone awry or a debt left unpaid, a hit typical of a place where organized crime is so deeply entrenched. It soon became clear, however, that this was something out of the ordinary. The following day, on August 29th, what is believed to be the same lone female boarded another bus on the same route. This time, the assailant...
And it's a female! Oh man, what the fuck? And it's like, what... you can't even like curse on a female that hard like you would curse on a man, right? So it's like, what the fuck is this?
Stayed on board for a few blocks before requesting a stop, at which point she approached the driver and appeared to be looking for bus fare. According to other passengers...
What is wrong with women? What is wrong with this woman? Come on. You're just ruining women. Just ruining the impression of women men have on the woman,
The woman said, "You guys think you're real bad, don't you?" Before pulling a firearm and shooting a 32-year-old bus driver, Freddie Morales, twice in the head, killing him instantly.
You guys think you're real bad, don't you? What? That doesn't make any sense. Does she think like the bus drivers are badass and she's envious of them or something like that? That's weird.
Once again, the assailant escaped on foot, though where she went, witnesses either could not or would not say. In both cases, those who offered descriptions said that the killer was a middle-aged female who either had dyed blonde hair or was wearing a blonde wig. In at least one instance, she was described as being dressed up in a cap, plaid shirt, and jeans. But beyond this, the details were practically non-existent. The killer did not rob the...
That's how she looks. She looks like a dumbass. I'm sorry.
...victims in either incident, which ruled out theft as a possible factor, but left a myriad of other possibilities on the table in regards to motive. It would only take one more day for the situation to develop further. On August 30th, a local news website received an email claiming to be written by the shooter herself. It reads as follows: "You think that because we are women, we are weak. And that may be true, but only take one more day for the situation to develop further." On August 30th, a local news website received an email claiming to be written by the shooter herself. It reads as follows: You think that because we are women, we are weak, and that may be true, but only up to a point, because even though we have nobody to defend us... We are women, we are weak, and that may be true for hours until a point, because even though we have nobody to defend us, and we have to work long hours until late into the night to earn a living for our families, we can no longer be silent in the face of these acts that enrage us. Sounds like more like, the random protesters or random public that is fed up with these killings. I don't think this is a letter from the killer.
herself. I think this could be a letter from some of the victims or people that are fed up with the killing, you know?
To work long hours until late into the night to earn a living. For our families, we can no longer be silent in the face of these acts that enrage us. We were victims of sexual violence from bus drivers working the maquila shifts here in Juarez. And although a lot of people know about the things
we were victims of sexual violence from bus drivers working the maquila night shifts here in Juarez. So some of these bus drivers are fucked up or what? How, oh my God, that's crazy. And although a lot of people know about the things that we've suffered, nobody defends us nor does anything to protect us. Bitch, a lot of people don't get enough justice. Come on. It doesn't, come down to gender. Come on, dude.
We've suffered. Nobody defends us, nor does anything to protect us.
I don't know, give a police complaint or something like that. I don't know, or maybe like when they're trying to sexually assault you, have a gun in your pocket then, and then shoot them. Why are you going around and killing random bus drivers? What the fuck?
That's why I am an instrument that will take revenge from many women. We are seen as weak, but in reality, we are not. We are brave.
And if we don't get respect, we will earn that respect with our own hands. My God, somebody is like fucking creating a revolution. Like the feminists are gonna go insane over this.
If we don't get respect,
Jeez.
we'll earn that respect with our own hands.
Oh God.
We, the women of Juarez, are strong.
If it is true that some of these bus drivers are fucked up and sexually assaulting, then there is a point to her letter. But then it's like you're shooting just random bus drivers. I don't know about that, you know. Find the culprit that did whatever he did to you, and then fucking, make him arrest him, or don't kill though. Don't kill. Just not good. Not good. Don't have like rebellious ideas that make you do absolutely horrible things. Okay.
The email was signed Diana Hunter of Bus Drivers, and this is how the killer became known. Now, while there's a chance that
I never heard of such a killer, and that too female. Oh my God.
This email could have been a hoax sent by an unknown third party, both
Crazy.
Authorities and the public seem to believe it's genuine. Many others also agree, as it explains the unusually specific nature of the crimes, gives an incredibly potent motivation for such violence, and inadvertently seems to reveal a few details about Diana herself. The maquila referred to in the message are foreign-owned factories, usually run by companies in the U.S.
And this case is still unsolved. That means that this bitch has stopped killing bus drivers. Now what happened? You killed all those innocent bus drivers for what? Just because you were angry? And now why did you stop? You didn't even get arrested. Really?
U.S., which makes Juarez and its surrounding areas an ideal location due to proximity to the border. Many women of Juarez are employed in these factories and frequently work night shifts. The use of we when referring to maquila workers suggests that Diana herself was likely among those doing this job, and also suggests that either she or people
she might be working in an all-female night shift type jobs. So maybe you gotta search one of them places, maybe.
To her, might have had first-hand experiences with the abuses that she described. Her chosen handle is telling, too, seemingly inspired by the Roman virgin goddess Diana. As is often the case with Roman mythology, the Diana of myth has several roles, including being a protector of childbirth, goddess of fertility, and a protector of the lower classes. She was also a god of hunting, tasked with guiding her hunters safely through unknown territory.
That's
a god
cool.
of the countryside, and in one incarnation, the god of the roadways
Mysterious.
or crossroads, which carried with it a darker connotation. As a deity responsible for crossroads or divergent paths, it was believed that the role of Diana in this form was to usher people into the afterlife, essentially guiding them into the underworld. The more we dig into the context surrounding this vigilante's acts of retribution, the more sense these...
But the case is unsolved, which means she stopped killing. So then she didn't even get anywhere with all this murdering. So completely useless. Like really, why did you even decide to kill? It's not like you staged a big revolution or anything, like you did something big or anything, or you got arrested and protested or something like that. No, it's just, and you stopped. We don't even know who the fuck you are, and it's like
details about her
what?
namesake seem to make. Now, I mentioned earlier how the murder rate in Juarez is amongst the worst in the world, but what we have not touched upon yet is the role femicide plays in those numbers and the amount of violent and sexual crimes committed against women in the city in general. Domestic abuse everywhere, and in the city of Juarez in particular, is an ever-present issue. But this issue isn't just limited to households. Between the years of 1993 and 2005...
Yeah, this is like fucking, what, Mexico and shit? You know, there's gonna be so much, you know, sexual assaults and stuff like that. What do you expect? It's not a bunch of Caucasians living there. It's you know, Mexicans, and they're all, you know, up in their feelings. They you know, sometimes there are a lot of criminals in there. It's crazy, dude. So I don't know.
370 young women and girls were killed in Juarez, according to...
Yeah, I heard a lot of people die, get raped and shit in the Mexico area. I don't know, man. Just don't go in you know, fucked up places. Just don't go there.
Amnesty International report on the subject. In 2010, just a few years before Diana would take action, murder in Juarez reached a new peak, with 304 young women and girls having been killed in the city in that year alone.
Wow.
Often these victims, some as young as 13, were sexually assaulted, tortured, murdered, and then dumped in the desert outside of Juarez, either out in the open or in shallow graves. Many of these murders went uninvestigated. When the author of the email claimed that no one was willing to protect the women of Juarez, they said so with good reason. Women who report sexual crime are often humiliated or questioned by police in a disbelieving manner before being turned away entirely. It's also commonplace for...
I think all this is the reason. The reason because all this is happening is because they destroyed marriage. Nobody fucking marries, and the people that marry divorce. They destroyed. In the Western society, marriage has no value. They destroyed it, and you know, virginity is not praised or valued either. Like, if you're a virgin, they call you incel and all that. It's just that's a stepping stone for you to have all these murders, getting raped, tortured, and murdered and shit. Also, like, a lot of white bitches are like so fucking kinky and always having sex and shit, multiple body counts. Like, what's the difference between, like, a $2 whore is more of a virgin than an actual normal female that goes on multiple dates with multiple dudes, gets fucked by all of them, you know? There's no difference. Every white woman is a whore because of the dating culture. Pretty much, and this is what's happening, you know. But you know, and also, like, the Christianity has failed pretty much. Where's God? You know, that's what you. I mean, people just make fun of God at this point, and they don't even follow God. If anybody that's a believer in God, they stay away from him because he's a cultist or something, and it's just ridiculous. So. There's no culture, there's no traditions, it's all failed. Everything has failed. The belief in God has gone because, you know, it's just ridiculous. The Christianity has failed. This is the proof right there.
For politicians and authority figures to claim that victims of these horrific crimes were sex workers or that they somehow were to blame for their own victimization.
Of course, sex workers. They're not sex workers, they're whores. Come on, let's just say it outright. They're whores, goddammit. They're ruining your society, but then you're gonna praise them by giving them a respectable label called sex workers. Stupid fucking pisses me off. I just want to go punch, you know.
An interview with This American Life.
Pisses me off.
Oscar Maynez.
The fact that there's so much fucking whorish behavior happening. As a normal guy, you should fucking feel so pissed off. You should be pissed off a lot, but nobody's fucking raising their voice and saying anything because America is a land of the free. And the obsession with freedom is so hardcore that nobody can open their mouth and say, this is wrong, this shit is terrible. Nobody can say that because freedom has to be valued. Stupid behavior, enough.
A former criminologist who worked on many missing women's cases explained it as such. First, they denied the problem, then they played it down, and finally, they blamed the victim's lifestyle and their families. Prior to this interview, Maness had already chosen to resign from his position, suggesting that his peers, quote, would rather cover up investigations and tamper with evidence than find justice. In the years following 2010, the overall murder rate in the city did decline rather dramatically and had fallen significantly by 2013 when the bus driver killings took place. It is important to note, however, that the reason for this drop is believed to be a particular cartel taking control over the city, meaning less gang violence, which doesn't necessarily equate to a drop in femicide or other crimes against women. As a result, even while Juarez was attempting...
This Diana lady must have been traumatized by one of these bus drivers raping her or something, and she's determined to kill any bus driver that she sees. She's like, you think you're a badass, don't you? Let me shoot you in the face. You know, it's like that.
To improve its public image, it remained incredibly dangerous for its female residents.
She probably gets really angry at the sight of a bus driver, and she goes in there and kills them and runs away. Pretty much, you know.
So why in a place that's known to be treacherous to women was it specifically bus drivers that Diana chose to target? As mentioned in the email, she believed that the drivers themselves often targeted lone female passengers, but why is this the case?
Wow.
One factor appears to be opportunity. Certain routes, such as the ones that ferry the maquila workers, take passengers out into the desert where there's little a victim can do if they were attacked. A 25-year-old Juarez resident described her own experience to This American Life, saying, quote, I remember when I was in high school, I would hear a lot about it. My friends would say to me that if you're going on the route and there's no one there, take a pen with you with the point facing outwards, because you never know. It's been happening for years and years. Another factor is that allegedly bus drivers were also often drug dealers, which strongly suggests they'd have cartel connections.
Shit.
This indicates that while bus drivers were responsible for finding the victims, it's possible and even probable that they didn't carry out these abuses on their own. Given that cartels have a reputation for paying off law enforcement, it's also plausible that this is why these offenses were frequently overlooked. According to an article for The Cut,
and nobody can do anything about this other than investigate and arrest. Nobody can do anything about this with a strong force, because then they will be labeled fascist or communist. So stupid, you know. It just nobody can open their mouth and yell and say fuck this, you know. They can't. Nobody can say anything, because then they will be labeled fucking fascist, right? And this lady Diana, this is the only way she can do anything. She could run around, grab a pistol, and shoot the fuck out of bus drivers. This is the only way she can do anything about it, you know. So makes sense. Bad, but still makes sense though. What can we do? This is how you position yourself, the Western society.
In the 90s and early 2000s, more than 100 female bus riders disappeared in the area Diana committed her acts of vengeance, many of whom were later found sexually assaulted, strangled, and dumped outside the city. While this indicates a clear link between the drivers and the disappearances, only 2 male drivers were ever charged, and this is where the corruption of Juarez law enforcement begins to muddy the water.
And where are the people, where are the women protesting, where are the fucking degenerate feminists that are supposed to stand and protest and riot in order to, make, sound of this case where, females getting raped and strangled and, dumped, murdered and all that shit? Where are these, protests that we need in order to fucking raise awareness of this situation that we got? But of course not. Why? It's almost like they love this shit, they love getting raped or some shit. That's how bad this has become, It's, the sexuality has grown so hard, so big that all kinds of terrible shit is accepted as a form of kink or some shit. I don't know, man. This is terrible,
Of these 2, one driver confessed to a series of sexual crimes and killings, only to claim later in court that he was tortured into making a confession. He was sentenced to 50 years, but was released in 2005 when it came to light that his claims of having been tortured...
I feel like people are brainwashed into being okay with this shit. This amount of crime and everything. They're brainwashed to the point where they're like, oh, that bitch died. Okay, fine. Let's go do something. It's like they don't even give a fuck,
by the police were accurate. The second driver, who was the co-defendant in this case, conveniently died in prison before sentencing. Equally confusing is that while the involvement of drivers in various crimes seems undeniable, the two killed by our female vigilante weren't personally connected to any offenses, though given how frequently crimes go unpunished, it's hard to conclude if that proves their innocence. It feels almost impossible then to definitively say whether or not these particular deaths were justified, but the suffering these murders were a response to is both heartbreaking and undeniable. Diana the Hunter was never heard from again after the email.
No, in a brainwashed, fucked up society like the Western society, she's probably the most, sane person. It's so bad that she is the positive influence. That's how bad it has become. Like, seriously.
And there doesn't appear to have been any similar attacks that suggest that she continued to dish out her particular brand of justice after the two murders covered here. She undoubtedly left an impression, though, instilling fear in drivers all over Juarez. In the wake of...
There's a big network of pedophiles, big network of, child trafficking, human trafficking. There's so many missing people out there, and nobody does anything because it's a business, and the politicians are nothing in front of it, and they can be bought and paid for, and stupid fucking bullshit. Where there needs to be a fucking task force that goes rapid fast and is a massive task force that can fucking destroy everything that is corrupting the society. But nobody approves of anything like that. The FBI itself is corrupted, and it's stupid. They're all bought and paid for. It's done.
Of her attacks, reportedly 50% of drivers working her route stopped showing up for work, and anecdotal evidence suggests that many kept the sketch of Diana pinned to their dashboard, with some allegedly refusing entry to any woman who looked too similar. We are terrified. We're frightened of our own shadows, a bus driver called Rodrigo told The Guardian in September of 2013. The woman who opted to talk to the same interviewer seemed less concerned about the city's public transport staff. They must have done something terrible to her. With the police doing nothing in a society that doesn't help, it's understandable that she took justice into her own hands, said one young woman. If the killer really is a victim, I hope she doesn't get caught, said another. Perhaps this is why, even several years later, Diana's identity, if she does exist, remains a mystery. Because if any of the women working in the factories of Juarez know who's responsible, none are willing to share.
Damn.
This video was researched and written by Lux Noctis, edited by Darkfire Productions, with additional writing by yours truly.
What the
As
hell?
always, I'd like to thank every single one of my lovely supporters on Patreon, but especially
shut
the
up.
fun I'll see you next.
Alright, done. Crazy shit. Crazy shit, man. And very, very fucking weird, too. Very, very weird. It's ridiculous. And there's so many videos out there about so many things. It's ridiculous, dude. Damn. And something is fucked up with the Western society. Honestly, something is really fucked up, man. Nobody does that. In any part of the world, everybody is able to yell, say something, and fight back and shit. But here, in the Western society, nobody does anything. And everything just keeps happening. And it's just so stupid, so stupid.
Facts that have been recorded by the media or shared by the family, most of those who are missing become lost to time.
Yeah.
This is part of the allure. We can project onto them our own beliefs and insecurities.
Damn.
We can entertain the illusion that we are preparing in some way to avoid their fate. While similarly, we can confront our own mortality. We are drawn to these stories because we are trying to understand. However, there are some cases that cannot be understood. Not completely.
Missing 411 cases. There's a fucking documentary, like 2 documentaries, and Missing 411 are basically books, but they're so costly, especially when I'm like Indian, right? When I try to buy these books are like fucking thousands of fucking tens of thousands of dollars. It's ridiculous, man. And it's like I could buy 2 fucking furnitures, basically. I could buy a furniture. I could literally buy a combo of 2 chairs and a sofa. Pretty much, that's how much money those books are, and I could never purchase these things, and I feel really, I feel so bad, you know. I'm pissed off that I can't buy these books, but whatever. You know.
In an attempt to escape face masks and social distancing, a record number of Americans have surged to visit national parks in 2020 and 2021. With the expectation of clean air, open space, and solitude, these visitors are unaware of another danger yet to be uncovered. There are roughly 640 million acres of federal land considered to be national parks and forests.
Damn.
These lands are over...
I'm not from the Western society, so I don't know. Probably looks so beautiful over there, and not smoky city, fucking dusty garbage like my India. But you know, there are beautiful places in India as well, but they're nothing compared to this shit. So Western society, no shit, everybody's like migrating over there, and you know, you guys are like so welcoming, and it's like, why? You're ruining your fucking you're just letting other people from other races invade your countries, and look, these beautiful areas are gonna be fucking ruined in the future. So I don't know, man.
Seen by the national parks.
I have an idea, like, you know, I want to create like a gadget that can track people. And, you know, this tracking thing should be available for the public, for everybody outside. And there should be like, you know, like booths on streets where you can see all the people that are, you know, getting tracked and shit like that. So, you know, it's going to be that. And only the FBI or cops, only they have the right to actually track individuals. So when people go missing, you can know where the fuck they went. You know, so that would be great. Okay.
Dr. James McRogan hiked into the wilderness outside of Vail, Colorado with a group of physicians. He had recently accepted a job as an emergency room physician in Indiana, and he was ready for a wintry trip into the mountains with friends. The group embarked on Spraddle Creek Trail toward Iceman Hut.
I just don't understand these fools that decide to go on a hiking into the most ridiculous places like mountains and fucking landscapes, crazy fucking valleys and shit. I just don't get it. Why you want to go into the most ridiculous, literally going into a different planet altogether. Nobody's over there other than dangerous animals. And there might be some fucking crazy losers, homeless motherfuckers trying to kill people or something. Some serial killers or something over there. And you might fall into a hole somewhere, and no matter how much you yell, nobody might even, you know, pick up your voice. And you will be there forever. So I don't know what is it with this thrill of going somewhere so ridiculous. It's not like you're going to a museum or going to the fucking movies or going to the nearby fucking, you know, tourist destination. No, you're going into the wilderness where nobody's there, and you want to fucking act like a, you know, god or something, trying to survive the wilderness. Get the fuck.
Split boards,
really?
A snowboard that splits in PS tracker, food, and water supplies in his pack. The group stopped to take a break after a few hours, but McRogan pushed onward. They planned to meet further up the trail. However, this is the last time McRogan was seen alive. The group continued on the trail after only a few minutes, but they didn't encounter McRogan at the designated meeting spot. And upon reaching the Iceman Hut, there was still no sign of McRogan.
Oh shit!
The Valley Sheriff's Department searched on foot and snowmobile. 3 helicopters assisted in the search, and they covered over 18 square miles for the next 5 days, until bad weather drove them to end the search.
That motherfucker dead. These people that go into fucking hiking so far where nobody fucking knows, it's so stupid. And this dude is dead. No need for a serial killer, nothing. He just died.
20
Okay.
days later, hikers found McRogan at the bottom of an ice fall in Booth Falls.
Of course.
4.5 air miles east from Iceman Hut. The area had already been searched multiple times by search and rescue. Authorities reported that parts of Vale could be seen from where McGrogan's body was recovered.
Oh
He was
shit.
found with head trauma and a broken femur, partially undressed. He was not wearing his coat, gloves, or boots.
What the
McGrogan
fuck?
would have had to climb and descend nearly 5,200 feet in steep elevation, requiring a path that likely traversed 10 to 16 miles
What the hell?
to safely navigate the slopes.
That's insane.
Cross Middle Creek and fight his way through snowdrifts up to 30 feet tall. McGrogan
What?
met many of the criteria outlined in the missing 411 profile. He was intelligent and physically fit. He disappeared in mid-afternoon, and his search was halted by severe weather.
That's
He
insane.
was found at the bottom of an
How did he make the down there that long and without any boots or whatever? Like it's all winter and snowy, and this motherfucker made it down there till there and died over there. What the fuck? You should react to Friday Night Perfect Combo Forbidden Love mod plus cutscene. Okay, let me note that shit down. Okay, let me note that shit down. And okay, all right, I noted it down. Okay, a lot of stuff. All right, let's go.
icefall in an area that had already been thoroughly searched.
Huh?
He seemed to have vanished off a clear trail with no visible tracks.
Hmm.
He had removed his boots before the incident, and he was in a dangerous and
All right, Jamarian, stay. Can you stay longer? Can you watch this stream if you want to, please? If you can't, if you're busy, then fine. Okay. You know, not many people talk on the chat, right? So I'd like to have my good friend accompany me. Okay, whatever. All right, if you don't wanna, then go, man. I'll see you later. I will do your reactions. Okay. I will do your reaction by the end of this weekend. Okay, don't worry. Yeah, I'll see you later, or maybe stay and watch. You know.
difficult place to reach.
Hmm.
Why didn't McGrogan activate his GPS transponder?
I hope everything's going good for you. Okay, Jamarian, you know, like you said, you're doing a little better. That's great. That's great. You know, don't anger your mom or anything. You know, just be nice, be kind, spend time outside a lot more. Don't stay in the house too long. You know. Get tired of Twitch? You have downloaded this new app called Kick. I know this Kick thing is a big deal, and XQC moved over there apparently, and I'll try to see. I will try to check out that website and see, and we'll see. You know, we'll see. Okay. I might even start doing something there. We're gonna see. Okay. I don't know that website. I haven't visited yet. You know, but I will take a look at it. Okay. So yeah.
Politis confirmed the area where McGrogan was found had cellular reception, so why didn't McGrogan dial for an emergency rescue?
Yeah, some people are fucking stupid, okay? This motherfucker thought that he could go somewhere maybe he thought he could do a running race or some shit in the snow. It's just stupid. I don't know. Like, is there some killer or something that lifted him on his back and took it down there and threw him over there? I don't know, man. This missing person cases are fucking crazy and really puzzling. So puzzling that it makes you think that it's all stupid. You know, that's what I feel like. All right, the next case. Let's get into
Bart
it.
Schleier was a practiced outdoorsman, an accomplished wildlife biologist with experience in the grizzly bear recovery project in Yellowstone and the tiger conservations in Siberia. Paradoxically, Schleier was also an avid hunter, and he was prone to spending weeks or even months in the wilderness, bow hunting wildlife. Schleier was last seen alive by the pilot who flew his chartered float plane to Reed Lakes in the Canadian Yukon Territory on September 14th, 2004.
Reed
the plane
Lakes.
would return 2 weeks later to pick up the hunter, but he was nowhere to be found.
Of
Schleier
course.
was well prepared for his trip. He brought 3 action packer crates of
The piece of shit decided to go on a silly ass adventure and not follow the rules that were given to him, like told to him by the plane pilots and shit. He was instructed to get back to the same place after 2 weeks. The bitch went off in a super serious, ridiculous direction just for the sake of adventure, and now he's not there anymore because he, I don't know, fell off a cliff or some shit. I don't know.
gear. One crate was filled with canned food that would last a couple of weeks. The second crate was filled with his clothing for the trip, and the third contained his camping gear, including a good tent, sleeping bag, inflatable boat, and more. After he was reported missing on September 30th, Mounties from the RCMP in Whitehorse.
Yeah, the creepiest part about these missing cases is the way they get missed, and the way they disappear. It's the weirdest way they get disappeared, man. I don't know why, how they do it. It's almost like the most impossible task, the most impossible way they can get disappeared. That's how they do it,
Over 175 miles away, investigated his campsite. They found the remains of a meal at his camp, but the food crate was secured. They discovered his boat a half a mile from the camp in the brush shore of the lake. It had been secured at both ends in the thick brush. With the weather deteriorating, the Mounties speculated that Schleier had hiked to the Klondike Highway. However, his friends were adamant that this was not a possibility, as he had not contacted any of them. Dissatisfied with the RCMP's response, a friend of Schleier's in Whitehorse, named Dib Williams, returned to the campsite with a friend. They found Schleier's camp. His tent had been knocked down, and they discovered his backpack, bear spray, VHF radio, and knife on site. Williams and his friend returned the next day to continue their search around the boat. Less than 200 feet in the woods, they discovered Schleier's bow with handmade arrows and a buckskin quiver. They found a bag full of gear.
That's so fucking ridiculous.
This was a blind, and Schleier had been sitting on his pack,
Where is he?
prepared to call and hunt moose. In broadening their search, the two found a camouflage mask with some hair and blood inside.
Oh shit!
On October 3rd, Mounties returned to the scene with conservation officers and civilians to begin a grid search. Further searching turned up a baseball cap, camouflage pants, and camera. These were not damaged, scratched, torn, or bloody. Bones were discovered 200 feet away. The teeth were used to identify the bones as those of Schleier.
Oh shit!
Speculation centered on a bear or wolf attack. However, there was no sign of a death struggle nearby. The surrounding area was covered in undisturbed moss. The clothing would have been damaged and soaked with blood. Additionally, scat from bears and wolves nearby were collected and tested. While they did contain bone, there was no sign of fabric. In other instances of bear attacks on humans, clothing is often found mixed with remains in the bear's scat.
It's obviously not a bear
bears
attack.
Will cache their prey, meaning they will bury it for storage.
It's
and
so
return at a later
weird.
date.
These
But
fucking
there was no such cache
so
nearby.
weird, man.
Lastly, bears do not seek to incapacitate or slay their prey. They will simply begin to eat, whether their prey is
Jeez.
alive or not. This
Damn.
would have led to a gruesome and messy scene, but searchers could find nothing of the sort. His campsite and bag were left undisturbed, but attacking animals would likely return to investigate, especially for the canned goods. Bears can and will eat through tin cans. Schleier meets many of the criteria outlined in the missing 411 profile. He was a bright,
so
and
weird.
accomplished outdoorsman who was physically capable of withstanding the toughest
I feel like maybe he got like hypothermia or some shit, or maybe he, I don't know, he injured himself and died. I don't know. Maybe he ate some poisonous plants. But they found just bones. They didn't find his body or anything. They found all of his bones, probably completely gone at this point. The flesh is no longer visible, and it's only bones and shit. So it makes no sense. It makes no sense. And probably something happened in his body and caused him to fall down. And now he's there, and soon he got decomposed and only bones are left. So, and if you got only bones, then you can't really determine like what happened to his body or anything, right? Or maybe I'm wrong, you know.
Farms.
Crazy.
The inclement weather of the Canadian tundra impacted search efforts by both the RCMP and Schleier.
You're telling me he was the only person that went out there and nobody accompanied him? That is a suicide mission, man. Why would you go somewhere hiking or whatever alone, even though you're an expert? Come on, dude.
Schleier's friends. He disappeared near the Reed Lakes in an area that had previously been searched by the RCMP. The cause of death could not be determined. Some speculated that he suffered a bear attack, but there were no clear signs of a death struggle, no fabric in nearby grizzly scat, and no tooth marks in the recovered portion of Schleier's skull. Schleier was an avid outdoorsman and experienced hunter with a past of recovering grizzly bears. With that in mind, how could he have suffered a surprise bear attack?
I don't think it's how can it be a bear attack? It's not a bear attack. Come on. I think something soft happened to him that ended up killing him. That's what I think. Not a violent fucking murdering, stabbing, scratching shit. I don't think so.
Been removed without claw or tooth marks, and with no sign of a struggle or remains nearby. What happened to him in those woods?
What do you think? What do you guys think happened to him? What do you guys think happened? I think something. I think something really soft, like maybe he ate something like poisonous plants, or maybe he ate, or maybe something like a small, something got, stabbed him or something like that. Maybe he fell on some sharp object, and then he maybe died. Or maybe he got like hypothermia, like really soft things that can kill you. Probably one of them happened and he died. That's what I think.
2017, Mike Peterson headed out
2017, that's kind of recent, right?
For a lone hike in West Yellowstone.
Yeah.
He wore an orange hunting vest and waders, and he was well equipped, packing bear spray, food, and a firearm. He began down a familiar trail, one he had hiked with his children in the past. In fact, he was so familiar with the trail that he knew where he would have cell service. Throughout the hike, he texted his girlfriend, Bonnie Sanger, who was at a different area of the park. He arranged for her to pick him up at 6 p.m., and they would start a fire, cook dinner, and relax. Sanger arrived at the arranged location at 6 p.m., but there was no sign of Peterson.
Wow.
She waited for him, and at 7:20 p.m. she heard 4 gunshots in the woods.
Oh shit.
She called the local sheriff's office, and a search and rescue operation began at 10 p.m.
Oh,
Over 40 individuals participated in the search and rescue, including K-9 units and helicopters.
Oh,
they
man.
combed the park in search of Peterson, but severe weather impaired the search, grounding the helicopters for a time.
Anytime fucking rain or fucking waterfalls and floods, these are the end of all, mysterious investigations. Whatever you're doing, the crime scene gets completely ruined by these things. So when she heard gunshots, she did a good thing by calling the police, but she should have also gone right away to check what the fuck is happening. Not like, wait for the cops to come, which they came after like 3 to 4 hours later or the next day or some shit. That's crazy. You have a chance now. You heard gunshots. You have the chance now. Go run. See what the fuck's happening. Save your husband or whoever it is, because this is wilderness. He can die anywhere and we might never find him. Okay? He's already lost, Come on.
It wasn't until 3 days later that they found Peterson's body in Beaver Creek. Searchers found Peterson's orange vest and bear spray half a mile away from the river. Upon further searching, they discovered his pack and firearm in a second location. Some speculated that Peterson had been surprised and driven into the water by a bear, but The search and rescue team never uncovered bear tracks around Peterson's body or belongings.
God damn it.
Mike Peterson matches many of the missing 411 profile points.
Yeah, one thing I'm gonna tell you guys, if you're from America, if you're like a Western guy, if you're a white guy or black guy, I'm gonna warn you, don't go into these big wilderness, empty areas. Don't go, man. Something's gonna happen, and then you're gonna get lost. I know how it feels to get lost. I've been lost a lot of times when I was young. These are like populated places. I got lost in those places. Imagine getting lost in a place where there's nobody other than fucking trees, bushes, fucking bullshit, and dangerous animals, and possibly a fucking cannibal or a murderer or some shit, you know? Or maybe you don't know, maybe there's some ghosts too. I know that sounds like fairy tales now, but do you know if ghosts are real? Who the fuck knows, man? There could be some weird shit out there. Just don't. There's this thing called fear. There's this thing called like a veil of weird shit. Don't want to touch it. You don't want to go into it. Stay away from it. What if you encounter UFOs and aliens? Just don't do it, man. I know it sounds funny, but you know, it could be anything. That's what I'm saying. Anything. It could be anything. So just get away, you know.
Physically fit outdoorsman.
Don't go there.
Country experience, and he was familiar with the area. He disappeared in the late afternoon, and his disappearance coincided with Jeff Murphy, another hiker who disappeared from Yellowstone in that same week. The
Oh
search for
shit!
Mike Peterson was impaired by severe weather.
All right, let me check the stream. Thanks for watching. I know the video is kind of boring. This dude is slow as fuck. I guess if you listen to him on your own, you will find it entertaining, but this dude is slow as hell, dude.
He vanished into Beaver Creek. The sheriff's office speculated that Peterson had crossed the creek early in the morning, but snowmelt upstream had dramatically increased the height and speed of the water when he returned. They guessed he had been swept off his feet and drowned. But that doesn't explain why Peterson would have left his belongings behind if he planned to return to Spanger. As an experienced outdoorsman, he had enough supplies and means of communication to simply signal for help and wait. While
This is
Peterson
madness.
was recovered, many questions still remain and will likely never be answered. To draw connections between seemingly unconnected cases, it does not provide an explanation or cause behind these connections. However, skeptics and belief purposes are unclear.
Extraterrestrial, Bigfoot,
creatures.
and we haven't encountered anything, crazy yet. Maybe there might be some creatures that we haven't even encountered yet. The humanity, that's what I'm worried about. There's some shit that we don't even know. 70% of the earth is water, and we don't know what the fuck is in there. So there's equal amount of quite a large amount of wilderness out there, and we don't know what's in there either. Some people report saying that they saw a bunch of orange lights in the sky. What if one of them landed in front of you? That's crazy. So I'm just telling you, just don't go into the unknown places, deep, ridiculous places. Don't go in there. Whatever you saw will not be believed by anybody else other than yourself. You know that shit, whatever you saw is weird, but the people that you tell everything, they will never understand or believe. So just don't even try to go there. It's just fucked up, okay? I hope you enjoyed this stream. I know I've been reacting to a lot of mysterious videos. I will. I'm actually gonna cut this, edit this stream out, this video out. I'm gonna download the video, edit it, and then I'm gonna upload it on my YouTube channels as well. So for much more entertaining purposes, okay? So don't worry. Please go check out my YouTube channels, Unlimited Health. That's my main channel. Unlimited Health, the backup, is my backup channel. So go check it out. You'll be thoroughly entertained. I do a lot of reaction videos. If you're new to my channel over here on Twitch, please make sure to follow me on Twitch and go check out my YouTube channels, okay? And if you have any videos that you want me to react to, please type down in the comment sections over my YouTube videos, and I will definitely note them down and react to them. I'll even say her name. Okay, so awesome, epic stuff. The first one was not good, and I'm sorry for disappointing you with that. The first one with the 411 missing cases, the narrator was so slow and it was just so stupid. But it was fine. It was fine. Okay, yeah, that's it. And please make sure to follow me on Twitch and subscribe my YouTube channels, Unlimited Health and Unlimited Health The Backup. Okay, go check them out. And we're gonna do something funny next time. Okay, on the next stream, we're gonna do something really funny, like try not to laugh or something. And then we're gonna do some scary shit, or maybe we're gonna play some game. Who knows? Okay, so yeah, that's it for this reaction. Please make sure to follow me on Twitch and subscribe to my YouTube channels, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.